क्षेमधाम नीलमेघश्यामा राम। शताभ सुमनसार्चिताङ्घ्रिशोभ कमलनाभ रविशताभ सुमनसार्चिताङ्घ्रिशोभ अमितविक्रम समर भीम शमल शमन सार्वभौम अमित विक्रम समर भीम शमन शमन सार्वभौम नीलमेघश्याम निखिललोकक्षेमधाम नीलमेघश्याम राम। शारदेन्दु सन्निभानन मारुति हृदयैकसदन शारदेन्दु सन्निभानन मारुति हृदयैकसदन धीरलक्ष्मी नारायण सूरिजनोद्धरण निपुण धीरलक्ष्मी नारायण सूरिजनोद्धरण निपुण नीलमेघश्याम नीलमेघश्याम निखिललोकक्षेमधाम नीलमेघश्याम राम। पालिसोलिदु हनुम प्रेम पावनात्म सीताराम नीलमेघश्याम निखिललोकक्षेमधाम नीलमेघश्याम राम।
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः. Humble prostrations to one and all. In the last class, we had seen Arjuna pays attention to the mood of the Lord, and Bhagavan's mood is seen in angry mood. Bhagavan is full of anger. And what does Arjuna see? Arjuna sees that the entire battlefield is nothing but the mouth of the Lord, and all the bloodshed and cruelty that's going to happen on this battlefield, the death and destruction that is going to happen on this battlefield, it is nothing but the canine teeth of the Lord. And this canine teeth is very scary, frightening. So, damstra karalani chate mukhani. So, Arjuna says, Bhagavan, not only that the whole world is terrified, the whole world is frightened, even I am frightened. Bhagavan, I am frightened to such an extent that all the courage which I have gathered after listening to your discourse, everything is gone, the courage is gone, peace of mind is gone. Bhagavan, to such an extent my mind is disturbed that I am not even able to know the direction. I am feeling dizzy. I am feeling as though I will become unconscious. So Bhagavan, therefore, Prasida Devesha Jagannivasa, O Lord, please be gracious unto me, bless me, save me, protect me. So Arjuna is highly frightened, greatly disturbed. And now in this mood of fear, Arjuna makes use of his Divya-drishti in trying to know the future. He wanted to know the outcome of the war. He wanted to know who all will survive this war. He wanted to know what will happen to his near and dear ones. He wanted to know whether his army will win the war. He wanted to know whether these enemies will be destroyed. So with all these intentions, with an intense curiosity, backed by worries, anxieties and fears, he peeps into the future. What is going to happen in the future? Now that ability was given to Arjuna. That ability was there in that Divya-drishti. So he makes use of this particular feature in Divya-drishti. So yesterday we had chanted verse number 26 and 27. Once again we will chant. Ami cha tvam dhritarashtrasya putraha sarve sahaiva vanipala sanghaihi bhishmo dronah suta putrastathaso sahasmadiyayrapi yodhamukhyaihi Vaktrani te tvaramana vishanti damshrakaralani bhayanakani kechid vilagna dashanantareshu sandrishyante churnitairuttamangaihi. Right. So what is Arjuna saying? So he says, Bhagwan, ami sarve te vaktrani vishanti. Bhagwan, ami sarve, all these people, they are vishanti, they are entering. Entering where? Te vaktrani, into your mouths. All these people are entering into your mouths. And how are they entering? Tvaramana vishanti. Bhagwan, these soldiers, they are entering very fast, tvaramana, as though they are in great hurry. They are rushing into your mouth. Your mouth, which is nothing but the jaw of death. They are rushing fast, quickly into your mouth. Now here, we all know that the war happened for 18 days and there were 18 Akshauhinis who participated in this war. How much is one Akshauhini? Just for information, in one Akshauhini army, there are 21,870 elephants, 21,870 chariots, 65,610 horses, and 1,09,350 foot soldiers. So this constitute one Akshauhini. Now, you see, 1,09,350 foot soldiers. But if you consider all the personnel who are present, who are involved in one Akshauhini, then we will have to take care of all those people who are handling the elephants, fighting, sitting on the elephants, handling the chariot, and those who are fighting, sitting inside the chariot. So all those people we have to take into account. So assuming that there are two people sitting on each elephant, so one person is needed to ride the elephant. In order to control the elephant, there has to be one person, and there has to be another person who will sit and fight. Sitting on the elephant, he will be fighting the battle. So assuming that there are two people sitting on top of the elephant, and in the same way in chariot also, there is one person who is the charioteer, there is another person who is standing inside the chariot and fighting the war. So assuming that every chariot will have two people, so if this is the calculation, then we find that total soldiers in one Akshauhini will be 2,62,440. Roughly we can take it as 2.5 lakhs. So 2.5 lakh soldiers are present in one Akshauhini. Now this is a minimum number. So 2.5 lakh soldiers in one Akshauhini. So in 18 Akshauhinis, considering it to be a 20 Akshauhini and 2.5 average, we will find in 20 Akshauhini Sena roughly 50 lakh people, 50 lakh, half a crore. So therefore we can say in this Mahabharata battle 50 lakh people were involved. Now Again, how many horses were involved? 65,610 horses are there. There are horse riders, fine. So, horse riders also, again, assuming that one person is seated on each horse. So, two persons seated on the elephant, two persons seated on each chariot, one person seated on each horse. So, this way when we calculate, we find that in one Akshavani there are 2,62,440 soldiers. This way when we calculate for 18 Akshavani, roughly we will find around 50 lakh people engaged in this battlefield. Right, now how many number of horses are present? So again, for chariot, if we assume 4 horses in every chariot, we will find that there are 30 lakh horses participating in this war. As far as elephants are concerned, there are 4 lakh elephants in 18 Akshavani's. Now it is said that most of them were dead after 18 days of war. In these 18 days, so Mahabharata war was fought for 18 days, and it is said that in these 18 days, most of them were dead. So you can just imagine, in 18 days, around 50 lakh people were dead. In just 18 days. This is the minimum figure. If we compare with World War I, it was fought for 4 years, from 1914 to 1918. In World War I, the casualty was 20 million people, which is 200 lakh, 2 crores. In World War II, 50 million people died. World War II was fought for 6 years, 1939 to 1945. It is said that in World War II, almost 3% of the entire world population was wiped out. 3% of the entire world population, which is around, at that time it was 50 million, which is around 5 crore people. But these wars were fought for 6 years, 4 years for World War I and 6 years in World War II. But no, Mahabharata war was very intense because this war was fought only for 18 days. And unlike modern warfare, the ancient warfare system was such that all these warriors, they gathered in a battlefield and the war was fought in a battlefield, so that the residential areas are not affected. Women and children are not affected. Unlike the modern warfare where the war is seen happening in the residential area, a lot of casualties happen amongst old people, women, children, etc. This was not the case in the ancient times. Now the point which I want to make here is, in 18 days 50 lakh people died. So this shows the intensity of war. So therefore, when Arjuna says Tvaramana Vishanti, it is justified. Thousands and thousands of soldiers, we can say, were literally hurrying their way into the jaws of death. Tvaramana Vishanti, they were hurrying. So many people were dying in a single day. And this is what Arjuna sees. And it was true. So now Arjuna says, Bhagavan, Ami Sarve Te Vaktrani Vishanti. Bhagavan, I am seeing all these soldiers entering into your mouth, rushing into your mouth. And what kind of mouth did Bhagavan have? So this mouth is described, Damstra Karalani Bhayanakani Vaktrani. So what kind of mouth? Damstra Karalani. Again and again Arjuna is using the same term, Damstra Karalani, frightening canine teeth. So Bhagavan, your mouth which is a very scary mouth, and that fear is generated because of those canine teeth present inside, which is meant to tear the flesh, bite and tear the flesh, very scary teeth. So, damstrakaralani bhayanakani vaktrani. Now, who are the ones who are entering into this mouth? So, Arjuna pays detailed attention, concentrated attention he pays into the mouth of the Lord. He wanted to see who are the people who are getting crushed inside the mouth. So he pays attention, zooms in into the mouth of the Lord. And whom does he find? So the list is given here. So number 1, Dhritarashtrasya putraha. The first one, the name he takes is the sons of Dhritarashtra. So he wanted to see what is going to happen to the enemy lines, the Kauravas. So he finds that all the sons of Dhritarashtra, they are going to enter into the mouth of the Lord, Kāla Bhagavān. Meaning they are all going to die in the battle. The battle has not begun. Arjuna is seeing the future here. So he sees all the sons of Dhritarashtra. Now these sons of Dhritarashtra, they are 100 in numbers. They are called as Kauravas in general. Now, true to this prophecy, all the sons of Dhritarashtra were killed, and they were all killed by Bhimasena during the war. Maybe Arjuna must have become very happy seeing this. So Dhritarashtrasya putraha. And who are the others whom Arjuna finds inside? Next one, Saha Avanipala Sanghaihi. Avanipala Sanghaihi Saha. So along with, Saha along with. So these Kauravas, the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra, along with Avanipala Sangha. Avanipala means kings. So along with so many other kings who had come to support the Kauravas, who had come to fight the battle remaining with Kauravas, so many other kings also Arjuna saw. So all these kings also were seen entering into the mouth of the Lord. They were also going to die. Who else did Arjuna see? So the next one, Bhishmo Dronaha. He sees Bhishma and Drona. Arjuna must have become sad because he wanted to win the war without killing Bhishma and Drona. He was intensely attached to Bhishma and Drona. And this future prediction says that they are also going to die. Arjuna again focused his attention deep into the mouth of Bhagavan. And now he found another familiar figure. Who was he? Sutaputras tathasau. Asau Sutaputra. So Arjuna finds Sutaputra also inside. Who is the Sutaputra? Sutaputra means the son of a charioteer. So this is none other than Karna. Now these are the words of Arjuna. So Arjuna calls Karna as Sutaputra here. Arjuna must have become very happy seeing Karna also entering into the jaws of death, because Arjuna considered Karna as his enemy number 1. He was very inimical towards Karna. Why he did not like Karna? Arjuna did not like Karna because Karna also was a great archer who was equal in expertise, in talents. If there was one person who could challenge Arjuna, in archery, that was Karna alone. So professional jealousy was always there, but there is another reason also. It was this Karna who instigated Dushasana in disrobing Draupadi. It was this Karna's idea. So that also must have created that vengeance, anger, revenge, hatred towards Karna. So Arjuna considered Karna as his number one enemy. So Sutaputras tathasau, this Sutaputra, this son of charioteer, is also seen inside the mouth of the Lord. He is also going to die. Now all these prophecies, whatever Arjuna is seeing, everything has turned into reality. That we will see later. Right. So again, Arjuna, with great curiosity, fear, anxiety and eagerness, he gazes inside the mouth, and again he finds some more people. What did he find? Asmadiyehi yodhamukhehi saha. Asmadiyehi. Prominent warriors in our side also are seen, Arjuna says. Bhagwan, I can see Asmadiyehi, our people. Yodhamukhehi, the prominent warriors, even they are seen inside your mouth. So that means very many prominent warriors in Pandava forces, very many warriors also were going to die. To name a few, so Drupada, father of Drishtadyumna, he was killed in the war. King of Matsya, King Virat, he was also killed. His son, Prince Uttar, who is a brother of Uttara. Uttara is the wife of Abhimanyu. So the brother of Uttara is Uttar. He was also killed. Ghatotkaja, son of Bhima, he was killed. Iravan, son of Arjuna, he was killed. Abhimanyu, again son of Arjuna, he was also killed. So there were very many prominent warriors who were killed. So Arjuna says, very many people of our side also are seen entering into your mouth. Now, it is said that very few survived Mahabharata war. Very few. Who are those few? So it is said in the Kaurava side, Ashwathama survived the war. Kripacharya survived. Kritavarma, who was a chief in Narayani Sena, Kritavarma, who fought the war siding Kaurava, he also escaped death. And Vrishaketu, son of Karna. So these are the four prominent figures. Son of Karna, Vrishaketu, he also escaped death. Of course, Bhishma Pitama, he died after 18 days. He did not die, but he was critically injured, that we can say. He was lying on the bed of arrows. He became incapable of fighting the war, but he did not die during those 18 days. So Bhishma was also there. In the Pandava force, of course, the 5 Pandavas, they survived. They were not killed. Then there was Satyaki, who did not die. He was a chief warrior of Yadava Sena, Satyaki. And Yuyutsu also did not die. Actually, Yuyutsu is the only son of Dhritarashtra who fought the war, taking the Pandavas' side. He was a son born to Dhritarashtra in a maid servant. So he doesn't come under that 100 category. So he is a son of Dhritarashtra, Yuyutsu, who fought for Pandavas. He also survived this battle. Really speaking, Drishtadyumna and Shikhandi also survived the battle, but on the last day when they were sleeping, it was Ashwathama who killed Drishtadyumna and Shikhandi. Not during the battle, but after the battle. So in a way they also died during the battle only. Drishtadyumna and Shikhandi. Okay. So we find the prophecy was absolutely right. Now here we will pause for a moment and we will take up a very important question for discussion. What is the question? See, here Arjuna is filled with fear, worry, anxiety, etc. But at the same time it is said Arjuna is having Divya Drishti. Now the question is, a person who has Jnana Drishti, is it possible for him to have fear? What is Jnana Drishti? Jnana Drishti is that vision where a person sees that everything is a manifestation of the Lord. Vishwadarshanam is seen as Ishvara Darshanam. Everything is a manifestation of the Lord. So when such a person, through that Jnana Drishti, he sees the world, what does he see? He sees that Bhagavan alone has become everything. Pandavas are none other than Bhagavan, Kauravas are none other than Bhagavan. It is Bhagavan alone who has become the good and the bad. It is Bhagavan alone who is playing this drama. This worldly drama is played by Bhagavan alone. In fact, this was the vision of Arjuna when he was describing the whole world. He was seeing every hand as the hand of the Lord, every weapon as the weapon of the Lord. This was the vision he was having, and this is truly called Jnana Drishti. Now the question is, a person who has this Jnana Drishti, can he have fear? Our answer is no, absolutely not. Because a person with Jnana Drishti knows that there is absolutely nothing to fear. It is Bhagavan alone who is playing this Leela. And that is what we find, that Maharshi and Siddha Sanghas, they did not fear this Bhagavan. They were singing the glories of the Lord. There was absolutely no fear as far as the perfected ones were concerned, as far as the enlightened ones were concerned. The great Rishi Munis, they never feared Bhagavan. They were only singing the glories of the Lord. This we had seen earlier. Stuvanti Pushkalabhi, etc., etc. So we had seen this earlier. So therefore, a person with Jnana Drishti can never have fear, worry, anxiety, etc. Those who don't have Jnana Drishti, yes, all those devatas, etc., Kechit, Bhita, Bhita, etc. It was seen earlier. So those who don't have Jnana Drishti, yes, fear is natural. But those who have Jnana Drishti, fear cannot be. But now here we find Arjuna is seen to have fear. Now the question is there Jnana Drishti in Arjuna? So our answer is no, it is not possible. Now the question is, what has happened to his Jnana Drishti then? Because earlier his description of the world was the description of Jnana Drishti. So what has happened to his Jnana Drishti then? One thing is for sure, this Jnana Drishti has gone. And that is why Arjuna has entered into this mood of fear. So what has happened to his Jnana Drishti? It has disappeared. Now the question is, why did it disappear? So here Vyāsa has beautifully answered through some of the terms. And what are the terms here? See the term used. See Arjuna's speech. How does he address Karna, he calls Karna as Sutaputra. And he addresses Pandava forces Asmadiyehi Yodhamukhehi. See these terms. So what does it mean? Karna is addressed with lot of, in a humiliating way, in a disrespectful way. He says, this Karna, this fellow, who is a mere son of a charioteer, this person who is unworthy to fight this war, you see. So here very clearly we can say that Arjuna's heart was filled with dvesha for Karna, hatred for Karna. And this term, Asmadiyehi Yodhamukhehi, our prominent warriors of our side, here we can clearly see raga towards them. So in short, Arjuna's heart was filled with raga dvesha, likes and dislikes. Again he calls all those Kauravas as Dhritarashtrasya putraha, children of Dhritarashtra. Again, maybe he is expressing his bitterness towards Dhritarashtra because he was the one because of whose blind attachment this war has started. If Dhritarashtra had corrected his son Duryodhana, this war would not have happened. So his blind attachment for his son was the cause of this war, and because of which Arjuna had some bitter feeling towards Dhritarashtra also, which he expresses by calling Kauravas as Dhritarashtrasya putraha. So the point is this: Arjuna's heart was filled with ragadvesha when he was making these statements. So a heart filled with ragadvesha is definitely an impure heart, and in such an impure heart, jnana-drishti is impossible. The vision of right knowledge is impossible in a heart filled with likes and dislikes. A heart filled with kamakrodha, ragadvesha, ahankara, mamakara, this heart is absolutely unfit for jnana-drishti. So see how beautifully Vyāsa rishi has pointed out this. The moment Arjuna's attention fell upon the Kaurava forces, his heart was filled with ragadvesha, and this ragadvesha in his heart destroyed jnana-drishti. The moment ragadvesha erupted in his heart, took birth in his heart, that very same moment jnana-drishti disappeared. Actually, what is jnana-drishti? It is Bhagavān alone who has become the Kauravas. It is Bhagavān alone who has become the Pandavas. So therefore, they are all nothing but manifestation of the Lord alone. This is jnana-drishti. But the moment Arjuna started seeing Kauravas as enemies and Pandavas as one's own near and dear ones, this way, when ragadvesha took birth in the heart of Arjuna, that very same moment, jnana-drishti disappeared, the vision of the Lord disappeared, the vision of oneness disappeared, and as a result, we find Arjuna filled with worry, anxiety, fear, etc. You see? So what is the cause of this worry, anxiety? The cause of this worry, anxiety is disappearance of jnana-drishti. Now please remember, divya-drishti consists of jnana-drishti plus paraloka-drishti plus atindriya-drishti plus Trikāla-drishti. These are the features in divya-drishti. Jnana-drishti is a vision of the Lord. Paraloka-drishti is the ability to see the other worlds. Atindriya-drishti is the ability to see things with perfection in sensory perception. Atindriya-drishti. Extrasensory perception, yes. And Trikāla-drishti is the ability to see the past, present, future. Now, out of these four features, Jnana-drishti disappears. So, even now Arjuna is able to see the future. Trikāla-drishti is there, but Jnana-drishti is not there. So, here a very important point to be discussed here is, a person may have all the supernatural powers, Paraloka-drishti, Atindriya-drishti, Trikāla-drishti, all these drishtis are there, but if that person has no Jnana-drishti, then he will never attain peace of mind. And this is exactly what is happening to Arjuna here. What did he lose? He lost Jnana-drishti. And then what was the result? The result is he became totally disturbed. So the most important thing in life as far as peace of mind is concerned is Jnana-drishti. The most important thing is spiritual knowledge and not supernatural powers. This is very clearly seen in the case of Arjuna. So as spiritual seekers, what we must focus upon? We must not focus upon the riddhis and siddhis, the supernatural powers, but we must focus upon the knowledge of the self, the spiritual knowledge. The moment Arjuna lost it, he lost his peace of mind also, because only when there is Jnana-drishti, only there one can have peace. Right, continuing our discussion. So now Arjuna is able to zoom in and zoom out. Now Arjuna wanted to see what is happening inside Bhagwan's mouth. So he saw all these people, what is happening inside mouth? So he wanted to see. So out of curiosity, he takes a closer look into Bhagwan's mouth. And then what does he see? So here said, Kechid drishyante. Inside the mouth of the Lord, some are seen. Kechid drishyante, some are seen. How are they seen? Dashanantareshu vilagna. Kechid samdrishyante, not drishyante, samdrishyante. They are seen very clearly, samdrishyante, very clearly they are seen. How? Dashanantareshu vilagnaha. Vilagnaha means sticking out. Dashanantareshu, in between the teeth. So, these warriors have entered into the mouth of the Lord. Now Bhagavan is chewing them. He is chewing and swallowing them. So what happens when we chew the food particle? These food particles get crushed between the teeth, isn't it? In the same way, the body parts were getting crushed inside the mouth of the Lord, because Bhagavan was chewing them. It is a jaw of death, it is a mouth of death. And this Bhagavan is none other than Kāla Bhagavān, which Bhagavan himself is going to introduce himself. So vilagnaha, their body parts were sticking out in between the teeth, dashanantareshu. And then Arjuna could see churnitehi uttama angehi. Very many of them, Arjuna could see that their uttama anga has become churna. Uttama anga means what? The best limb. What is the best limb in our body? The best limb, best or the most important limb in our body is our head. Upon this head is studded all the fine jnanendriyas, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, they are all there upon the head. And moreover, without head, nobody can survive. So therefore, head is considered the most important limb in our body. Uttama anga. So churnitaihi uttama angaihi means this head crushed. So Arjuna could see very many heads of these warriors getting crushed in between the teeth, and very many body parts sticking out in between the gaps of the teeth. In short, he is seeing Bhagavan chewing all these warriors. So very scary scene. Now, a question may come. What is the question? The question is, we all know how Bhishma died, how Drona died, how Karna died. We all know the story. Bhishma died on the bed of arrows. Drona was killed by Drishtadyumna when he was seated for meditation. When Drona came to know that Ashwatthama is dead, so he sat in meditation, throwing away all his weapons, and at that time Drishtadyumna came and chopped his head. That's how Dronacharya died. Karna died when he was trying to lift his chariot. The tire of the chariot, the wheel of the chariot was stuck in some muck. So he was trying to lift it. At that time, Arjuna killed Karna. So this is the way these warriors died. Now the question is, what is Arjuna seeing here? Arjuna is seeing that very same Bhishma, Drona, Karna, they are being chewed by Bhagavan. So here we have to understand that this is only a metaphorical expression, it is only a poetic expression. It is not something which is going to happen in the future. No such entity came in the battlefield, catching all these warriors and putting in the mouth and chewing them and swallowing them. No such thing happened. All these happenings were very natural. No unnatural thing happened, no miracle happened. They all fought the war and they died. So this, what Arjuna is saying, is only expressed poetically. This is the way we have to understand. Right. So the point is, if this metaphor is applicable to battlefield, then this metaphor is applicable to us also. Means what? Means not only that these warriors are being killed by Kāla Bhagavān, they are killed, no doubt. We are also inside the mouth of Kāla Bhagavān only. We are also marching into the mouth of Kāla Bhagavān. So this need not be applied only in the case of battlefield. This has to be applied to life in general. We are all marching into the mouth of Kāla Bhagavān. So we can say those people who are newborn children, they have come to the plate of Kāla Bhagavān. So they have come to the plate. Youngsters among us, the teenagers, they have grown up. So we can say they have already been put into the mouth of Kāla Bhagavān. So they are inside the mouth now. The middle-aged people, we can say they have been half chewed by Kāla Bhagavān. Very, very old people, we can say they have been very well chewed and they have become a paste inside the mouth of Kāla Bhagavān. And all those dead people, we can say they are the ones who have been swallowed by Kāla Bhagavān. You see, so we are all in different stages. So all the wrinkles of the face, the grey hairs, the missing teeth, they all indicate that chewing has begun and very soon swallowing will follow. So this way we must generalize this metaphor. We are all marching into this mouth of Kāla Bhagavān. Now Arjuna gives two similes to show how quickly these warriors were entering into the mouth of the Lord. He gives two similes, verse number 28 and 29. So we will chant verse number 28. Yatha nadīnām bahavombuvegaha samudramevābhimukha dravanti tatha tavāmi naralokavīrāh vishanti vaktrāṇyabhivijvalanti yatha nadīnām bahavombuvegaha samudramevābhimukha dravanti tatha tavāmi naralokavīrāh vishanti vaktrāṇyabhivijvalanti. Yes. So what is the simile here? Yatha, just as bahavaha ambuvegaha, many streams of water. Many streams of water. Coming from where? Nadīnām, coming from very many rivers. Dravanti, they flow. These streams, they flow. In which direction? Samudram eva abhimukhaha. Facing samudra, facing ocean, these streams from different rivers, they flow in the direction towards ocean, facing ocean. So just like various streams from various rivers, they come, they flow and go towards ocean, tatha, in the same way. Ami naralokavīrāha, these heroes of the human world, vishanti, they enter. Where do they enter? Tava vaktrāni, into your mouth, O Lord. And what kind of mouth? Abhivijvalanti vaktrāni, into your blazing mouth. So just like rivers carrying water, they flow facing ocean, towards ocean. In the same way, all these warriors, they march into the mouth of the Lord. Blazing mouth, as though the mouth is having fire inside. Remember, fire also represents destruction. So blazing mouth means the mouth of destruction. So just like streams of water from different rivers enter into the ocean, so too the soldiers enter into Bhagwan's mouth. So this is the simile. Now in this comparison, what are the similarities? So similarity number one, magnitude. Thousands and thousands of liters of water from so many rivers enter into the ocean from all over the world. In the same way, thousands and thousands of soldiers, they enter into the mouth of Kāla Bhagavān. So magnitude, huge number, huge quantity. So one similarity is this. Second similarity is helplessness. Water has no choice but to enter the ocean, because water always flows from the higher plane to the lower plane. So water is helpless, it has to flow towards the lower plane. In the same way, the prarabdha karma of these soldiers were such that they were destined to die in the battlefield. They are helpless because of their own prarabdha karmas. These soldiers had no other choice but to die in the battlefield. So this is second similarity, helplessness. The third similarity is the ability to accommodate. How effortlessly The ocean is able to take all the waters from all the rivers and still remain without overflowing. So ocean is able to accommodate all water, even in rainy season. The ocean doesn't overflow. It is able to accommodate. In the same way, thousands and thousands of soldiers are entering into the mouth of Kāla Bhagavān, but Bhagavān has enough time to chew them and swallow them and digest them. It is a fast moving queue without any kind of traffic jam. It is not getting stuck anywhere. Bhagavān is just very easily, Bhagavān is capable of devouring them simultaneously, instantly, without taking much time. So the ability to accommodate, this is another similarity. Another similarity is about merging back to the source. So water in the ocean, they become vapor, they become clouds, they pour down in the form of rain, and these rain water become the river. So this river is nothing but water coming from the ocean, and finally the river water go back to the ocean. So from the ocean the water comes and finally it goes back to the ocean. In the same way, all these soldiers, all the physical body, these bodies are born from 5 elements and finally they go back to 5 elements after death. Again, water was nameless and formless in the ocean, but once it becomes a river, it has a name, it has a form. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, they are all the names of different rivers. So they have a name and a form, but once they go back to ocean, again they become nameless and formless. In the same way, we also. In the beginning, we are all nameless and formless, but once we have this physical body, we have a name and we have a form. But after death, again we go back to the nameless, formless state. So from unmanifest, we become manifest. Again from manifest, we go back to the state of unmanifest. As Bhagwan beautifully says in the 2nd chapter, Avyaktadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata avyakta nidhananyeva tasmat ka paridevana. From the unmanifest we come and then we go back to the unmanifest. Only for some time we are manifest in this physical body. So this is another similarity we can find. So in life also it is true, not only in battlefield, general, in life in general also it is true. We are all like water in the river, rushing towards ocean, rushing towards our own source. It is said around 3 lakh people die every day. This modern day, around 3 lakh people die every day. So we are all like these soldiers doing march past. So what is march past? Left, right, left, right, left, right. So this is march past. In any parade we find this. In the same way, we are all doing march past in life. What is march past? Born, gone, born, gone. This is march past of life. Somebody is born, somebody is gone. Born, gone, born, gone. Womb to tomb, womb, tomb, womb, tomb. This is a march past. From the womb to tomb, as Puja Gurudev used to say. Now interestingly, whenever there is a march past, there is some important dignitary, some president or somebody who takes the salute from the soldiers who do the march past. And what is the state of this president? This president doesn't move, the soldiers move, they do left, right and they move. President only take the salute, he doesn't move, he remains motionless. The soldiers come and go, but the president remains in his place, motionless. In the same way, all the bodies come and go, but there is an entity which remains motionless. And what is that entity? It is none other than the Lord, the Supreme Self in us, the witnessing consciousness in us. The bodies may come and go, but this witnessing consciousness remains, like that president who remains motionless, who just take the salute from all the soldiers. So what is the source, or what is the secret of deathlessness, of immortality? The secret lies in shifting our attention from the changing world to the changeless substratum. When we pay attention to this consciousness, which is just a witness of all these happenings, then we experience deathlessness, then we experience immortality, and this is the way to conquer death. This is the essence of all scriptures. So if you have to escape from this repeated march past, womb to tomb, if you have to escape from the jaws of death, what should we do? We must pay attention to the immortal, deathless essence in us, the self in us. The next verse is also another simile given by Arjuna that we will discuss in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.